today we will discuss to how we can implement a SCD type 2. So before discussing SCD type 2, we need to understand what is SCD basically. So in the data warehouse technology, so we have basically two type of tables basically. Okay, number one is fact table, number two is dimension table. So what is fact table? Fact table is something which contains normally measurable quantity. Suppose you are going to a retail store and trying to buy, you are buying some clothes. So clothes have some price. The price is a measurable quantity. Suppose it's $10. So is a measurable quantity. So that $10 should be placed or loaded into fact table. And whatever other information about your purchase. So what other information? Suppose you have bought that clothes with $10. Okay. Now if you say just $10 to me, I will not understand anything, right? So you need to give me some context. Okay. So what are the context? So my clothes, so these are my clothes cost me $10. So that means now I understand what is $10. Number one, it is a basically currency, and you have bought some clothes. For that you have paid $10, right? Now here you see there are two different type of information. One is context information or background information. Another is the measurable quantity, that is price. So the context information will be placed or loaded under dimension table, and measurable quantity should be loaded under fact table. Now this fact and dimension table basically connect to each other in different ways. So based on the connection way, we differentiate it again into different subcategory or category, you can say. Number one is snowflake schema and star schema. What is star schema? Suppose suppose you have a table. Okay, so that table basically joins with another dimension table. You have a fact table in middle, and that fact table is joined to the dimension table in one-to-one kind of thing, or in just one hierarchical level up kind of thing. Okay, now if that is called star schema, and if there is a multiple level of hierarchy of dimension table, in that times it will be called snowflake schema. So we will not discuss in details on this topic. Now we will just focus on our SCD type 2. Now in the dimension table, whatever information it has, it normally has address, name kind of thing. So suppose the name, or suppose let's take the example of address. Suppose currently you are residing in Kolkata and you want to move to Bangalore. Now that address basically doesn't change frequently, but it change. That means it changes rarely, but it change. Okay. Now to retain this change of address, we need to implement some slowly changing dimension concept. How we can implement? Based on the way we can divide it into some multiple subdivision, multiple division or category. Number one is type 1, type 2, type 3, like that. Lot of things there. You can check in Google that one. Okay. Now we will in case of type 1, basically suppose today my address is Kolkata and I am moving out of Kolkata and will be settled in Bangalore. That means my address will be changed to Bangalore, and we are not going to retain my previous address, that is Kolkata. So in that case it will be type 1. Now if I want to retain that one, so that can be type 2 or type 3 or any further thing. So in case of type 2, how it will be? Type 2, so I stayed Kolkata from suppose 2010 to 2023. So there is a period, start date, end date. Now for Bangalore, so start date will be 2023 some date, and end date will be I do not know when I'll move out of Bangalore, right? So this kind of arrangement will be implemented in SCD type 2. So now let's try to implement that on using Python language and SQL. Okay. So to implement that we need basically one library, so a package that is called Snowflake connector. So let's import that Snowflake connector. Import snowflake dot connector. Okay. Now next what we will import? So to make a connection, successful connection from Python to Snowflake, we need some configuration details like account name, username, password, warehouse, database schema. These are the details. So those details I have already put under config file. So that I already discussed in my first video. You please check that on and understand. Okay. So here I have put all the details. So that's why I need to import this config file also. Import config. Okay. Now what we need to do? So okay, one thing here, if you are doing first time, so this is trying to import this snowflake.connector, you will get some red button, red underline. What you need to do, you need to install that one. Okay, wherever you are getting red, check if that is installed or not. If it is not installed, please install that. How you can install? You can go to Python package and right here, so you will see some package, you can install it. Okay. Now next point is we need to make a connection to our Snowflake from Python. For that, what we'll do, we'll use this snowflake.connector. So let's alias test as something SNO. Okay. So SNO dot use connect method. Okay. In the connect method, we'll use this details of this config file. So in config file there is a basically dictionary, and that dictionary is snowflake config, and that dictionary has all the details in key value format. Okay, what I will do, so that details has multiple key value, we need to unpack that. That has also been discussed in the first video. So to unpack that, we will need to put basically double asterisk and then config dot dictionary name. What is dictionary name? Snowflake config. Okay. Now using that, we should be able to connect. Now let's put that name the object as CONN. Okay, this is the connection object. Next, we need to create a cursor. So step number 1, what we did? Okay, let me write the command. Step number 1, create what I'm writing. Create Snowflake connection object. Snowflake connection. Okay. Step number 2. Step number 2, create the cursor object. So cursor object is something like you need to create to do DDL or DML operation in any database. Okay, create cursor object, CORSOR object. Okay, so now to create that, what we need to use, basically we need to use this connection object con dot cursor. Okay, so here you can assign that object under another object name, that is CUR. Okay, so step number 2. So what is step number 3? Step number 3, we need some data. Normally in the as it was discussed in the first video, what we did, we brought some data from some API and loaded into Snowflake table. So normally that is the way. Sometimes you can get data from some SAP, ECC, BW or Salesforce, Coupa, a lot of different things, or sometimes from some Excel or CSV file which is uploaded into Azure S3, AWS S3 or Azure Blob. So different way you will get the data. But as we are not focusing on how to bring the data, we are just trying to focus on how to implement SCD type 2. What we'll do, we'll define some data in a list. That list name I'll name it as source data. Okay, source data. That source data will be a list of dictionary. So each dictionary will be acted as a record for the table, new table basically, where we are trying to load the data. So let's define some key. First, let's ID. So let's keep ID as 100, 100. Then another key is name. So let's give a some name, that is suppose Bob. Next, give some address. Let's keep the address as Kolkata. Okay. Later next you can give some start date for the data. Start date. Let's put start date as 1st Jan 2022. Okay, I think we are good. Now we can copy this record or dictionary and modify a little bit. This next one. So let's put ID as 101. Name is something Charlie. Next address, give something like Hyderabad. Okay, next start date we can give 2023, something like this. Okay, now we have our data ready. Now what we need to do, and connection to the Snowflake is also ready. Next thing we need to do, we need to create a table. So as I already told, so each dictionary should be treated as a record in the new table. That means what are the fields the new table should have? ID, name, address, start date, and one additional column or field, that is end date. Why additional? Basically, when we will change this address from Kolkata to Bangalore, that time we need to give some end date when the address has been changed, right? That's why we need to add an additional field, that is called end date. Let's create the table. So I think I earlier created, we'll use that table itself. So this is the table. We'll do create or replace. Okay, this is a table. Let's run it. You see ID, name, start date, address, start date, end date. And if we see if it has any data or not, it doesn't have any data. That means good. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll write a loop to go through this list source data. Okay, before that, so let's consider ID is the unique key. So we can define a unique key variable here. Unique key, that is nothing but ID, right? ID. So now write a for loop. So this is a loop to go through the data set. Okay. Now for record is the loop variable, record in source data. Okay, so what we'll do, let's see if we are getting the correct data here or not. Okay, now it's fine, that is fine. So now what we're doing, we are going through this record. What we'll do, we'll check if this record or this ID, basically as ID is the unique key, is already present in our Snowflake table. This is the table. Okay, if it is present, then we'll update the existing record and put some end date as the current date and insert a new record also where there will be no end date. And if it is not present, in that case we will simply insert this record into a target table. Okay, so to check that, what we'll do, first we'll use our cursor object which we created in the earlier cursor object dot execute method to execute our a query to check if this record is present in our target table or not. So I am using a f-string. So what we'll do, select all from our table name. What is our table name? Let's copy this table name. Remember, you please use fully qualified name, so that will be easy for you to understand the code. Okay, code or the table name. Where, what is the condition? Where business key, basically, or unique key, you have already defined a variable, right? Unique key equal to, what is unique key equal to? Unique key equal to, give a placeholder. What is placeholder? Percentage. So from where this placeholder should get the data, that is nothing but a tuple containing single element. What is that? Record. Here if you want not to use the tuple, you can do that also, but it's good practice to use tuple. So record, and under record there is a ID field, right? Okay, suppose this is 100, then 100 on. So now I think we are good. Now next what we'll do, we'll run this query. Okay, we are getting some rate. Why we are getting some rate? You need to understand one error. What is the error? Okay, here we need to put on comma. That's why now it's gone. We'll try to run the query if it's working fine or not, to check that on only. So it's working fine. Now next what we'll do, so the result whatever it got, let's assign that under some variable, new variable. So result set, right? Result set is a variable where the return value of this query is getting assigned or stored. Now result set, from this result set we'll just check the first record. Okay, result set dot fetch one. only first record. So that will put under another result variable. Okay, now let's run it if we are getting correct or not. Let's print this result. Okay, let's print this result. What we are getting, we can check that on. None, that means we are not getting anything. Okay, so what we'll do, let's remove this part, and if result is found, in that case, that means both is like both of the record is not present. If result is found, in that case what we'll do, two cases, if result is found, or and another is if result is not found, that is else, right? So if result is found, what we'll do, first we will update the existing record. So using, again we will use this cursor object dot execute method, and then the query to update the existing record. So update, what is the table name we have here? Update, this is the table. Okay, update this table. Set, what we want to set, end date equal to current date, right? Now end date, current date, we need to give some where condition also to, so that it gets the record basically where we are trying to update, where business key or unique key, we have named it unique key equal to, what is that, unique key equal to placeholder, give a placeholder percentage is. Okay, so from where this percentage is will get the data basically value. So that let's define a tuple having single element. Okay, record, the record it will have ID field, right? ID. Okay, so I think after that we need to put a comma also, so that, so when your tuple has single element you should put a comma. Okay, I think let's run it. If, okay, we are getting some error, where we are getting the error, we need to check. Okay, else block, we didn't put anything, mostly that's why. Something you can put in a print, something like that. Now it will go. Okay, now next one is, we need to, first we are updating, why it's giving this mark, let's see why it's showing, fill the paragraph. What is this? Okay, we'll check it later. If we get any error, that time we'll check. So first we are updating, then we need to insert the record also, like updated record. So the same cursor object dot execute. Okay, let's see if we close the if string or not. Need to see, yeah, it's closed. Now insert into, put f string, insert into the table insert into, so the table, what are the value you have? First is, you can keep simply ID, or you can use unique key also, anything by ID, then name, then address, these are the field of table, and then start date. Okay, so after that you need to put some value or values, it is, I forgot that one, values, I think, values. So what are the values you want to put here? That is nothing but, first give the placeholder percentage s comma percentage s comma percentage s for value, right? And end date should be null for the updated record. Okay, now from where this placeholder will get the value, original value, for that we need to, what we'll do, that in the tuple basically what is happening, the tuple will mention this record. First is record, under that is id, right? Now id should be under quotation, right? id, next record, under record name, then record address, at the end another one, record start date, right? Let's put under quotation, single quotation, start date. Think we are good here. Okay, so if it is not present, then simply what we'll do, we'll insert the data if it is not existing record. Okay, let's copy it and paste under else block. We should be good. Now let's close the connection, commit the change and close the connection. Connection con dot commit, then con dot close the connection, close. Okay, now we can run the script if it is working fine or not. Okay, we got some error. What is the error? Insert into id is the something it's telling that key error id. So here I think is the error, record id comma record name. So let's see what is the error here basically. Insert into table values, okay, comma record comma id. Why it is like this? Let's see. Fill the paragraph it's saying. Okay, I think you see, I think there is spelling mistake. You see some, I have some tilted sign. I think that is not the correct. Now let's run it once again. Yeah, it is successful. You see. Now what we'll do, we'll check the data in this table. You see the data has been loaded. Now you see these are the new record. One has 100 ID, the Bob Kolkata, this is the start date. Another is Charlie Hyderabad, this is the start date. What we'll do now, we'll change this address from Kolkata to Bangalore. So and we'll give end date also there. Okay, let's we'll change the address and then we'll see how it is reacting. Okay, so let's go to the code. In your source data, this list, here what we'll do, address will change to Kolkata to Bangalore. And we'll check if it is working fine or not. If it's working fine, then its work is done. Next, another one we'll use, new record also will insert along with this, that is 102. Name is something Ram. Address you give, again Hyderabad. Start date you can give. What is start date? We can give 9/08. Let's give it. Okay. Now one is we are trying to update the data address from Kolkata to Bangalore for Bob, and for we are inserting a new record also, that is for Ram. Okay. Let's run it. If it is working fine or not, we'll see that. Yeah, it's finished. Let's see if data looks good or not. Okay, if you see it here, we have for Bob, this is our initial record which got like changed, basically got ineffective in this date 9/9. Okay, that's today's date as per this timestamp here. And then another, so that record for Bob address got changed to Bangalore from Kolkata, and that start date will okay, we didn't change the start date, that's why it's still there. So we should have changed the start date also. That's fine. You understood it, right? Then we have inserted new record also, Ram, that is Hyderabad. So this is the way of implementing basically CD type 2. I think it should be clear to everyone. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section so that we can discuss in our later video on those queries. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much.